Three, two, one. We're going.
Welcome into Dawn Talk. It's your host, Kemper Woodruff, and our other host, Zachary Sampson, the
User.
Don, and his consigliere, his right hand man. Couldn't do it without him. We're back again. We were gonna have a guest on, just some of the homeboys, but they wanted to play video games instead. So we're just gonna bring to you, just like we started the original crew of me and Zach. So welcome in. Oh, Zach, what you been doing?
Well, I just got back from a trip, like you know.
Heck
Uh,
yeah, you went to go visit Josh, right? Yes, yes.
yeah, that was a good time.
Good, man. Ah, ah.
You got a
Oh
bottle
shit,
opener?
that's. I think it's a bottle opener
Yeah,
because I just damn near cut my hand trying to twist her.
it's definitely a bottle opener.
Yeah, I don't know what I did with it, man. I had a really cool Benchmade one that I got from work the other day too. That's a shame. That's the beauty of having a podcast. You get to embarrass yourself live.
Exactly.
That's all good though. What you gonna do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, oh, fuck me running. That's okay. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. W dirt. But yeah, no, man. To be honest, we did this one because we had to keep it true. I don't mean to always be running off camera and whatnot. Um, but we've been putting some ideas together as to not only how to spread what we're doing better, how to get some more people on. And honestly, it's like as I've been putting that intention out there, I've been meeting more and more cool people, which is a definite plus. Um, and sometimes life throws us like weird twists and turns, and I think staying like consistent with things that are meaningful to you, despite what's going on, is a big deal. And with Valentine's Day having come up, there's definitely a lot of people that have a great time, just as much as there's a lot of people that are like, get that foo foo shit out of here because bitterness has run its course. You know what I mean? And
Mm.
you don't want to hope again because it costs something. Um, and so I think us doing this is bigger than just what it means to us. It's symbolic in time for other people.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Are there any podcasts you've listened to that have kind of like got you through some shit?
No, not really. I listen. It's really mostly just been weightlifting that's got me through shit. That and like
Mm,
a little bit of music. Um,
okay.
the most of like a lot of it was Mac Miller way back, which his death was the only celebrity death that's really kind of hit me a little bit because of how much his music got me through shit.
Whoa. You know what's interesting? A, I wouldn't have guessed that. But B, there's like a couple artists that I feel like I'm always late on artists because um I don't know, I always gravitated to like older stuff, and when I was in high school for sure I was a hater just because everyone like that I was around that weren't like my boys
Mm.
were hating on me for listening to Lil Boosie. So anything that anyone else played, I was like talking shit about, regardless of if I liked it or not. I didn't even dig through it to
Yeah.
find out. But um like I listened to Nipsey Hussle like freshman year. Um and I really loved it, but I've never followed like the newest music. It's like when I hear a song, like I remember Hustle in the House came out and a song called Keys to the City,
Mm.
and I was like, "Yup, locked in." Right? Mac Miller's another one of those people that like after he passed, I finally like really went back and was like, I need to look at it and see what he was saying, because he always had good energy and I enjoyed his songs.
Yeah.
But when I was in high school, he had come out with a song or an album called Kids, Kicking Incredibly Dope Shit. You ever
Yeah.
listen to that one?
Yeah.
Now that was like my discovery, and like a bunch of those songs were like smoke tracks for me, so
Yeah.
it's kind of nostalgic. But I didn't get into like super deep Mac Miller stuff where like before he died, I didn't realize how true of an artist he was.
Dude,
How
some of
many
his shit crazy good.
yeah, like
Like
um
one of my favorite albums of his is Divine Feminine is fucking amazing. Like if you ever wanted to make a sex playlist and you needed like 5 or 10 solid good songs for it, that's the fucking album to go listen to.
I'm gonna have to fuck with it. A,
Divine
because
Feminist. Or
I love sex,
yeah.
and B, that title alone is like amazing.
Yeah, Divine Feminine.
Um
It's awesome.
you know another person who had incredible music that I only like later on got into,
Hmm.
DMX.
Yeah, I haven't listened to a whole lot of DMX. Obviously, fucking X gonna give it to you, but like, yeah,
I didn't realize how many messages he was really kicking, and he was telling it in a way where it's like, yeah, it's his life, and he's explaining it in a way of like of street politics,
yeah,
that
dude, I've
resonate.
heard stories of that dude. That dude sounds like a wild man.
Dude,
Like he was who he was, and his music was legitimately who he was. Like,
100%.
yeah,
And that's the thing, like, conflicted as he was honorable, and he allowed people to be who they are by him being who he was and standing for himself so boldly. That's honestly the lesson that I got from like my best friend passing away. And I realized, my cousin said something to me that was so cold. He said, "This world ain't made for an outlaw," and yet
yeah,
it is, because society isn't like society is going to judge you,
hmm,
but an outlaw lives a life that's like with no regrets, in a sense. Like, yeah, you may have regrets, but no limits, you know? And I
yeah,
think there's this weird balance where you take ha- uh, a way where you can live in a socialized environment and not be an absolute savage, like to like the point where you're hurting other people.
yeah,
So you're not like fucking up your integrity as an individual, and on the other side, you're pushing the bounds and being wild and expressing yourself exactly how the fuck you feel.
hmm,
Um, like crazy stories. Like I was watching the Drink Champs podcast, and not only did I learn so much from DMX in that one podcast alone, um, but God, he said that he he pulled over people, like he got a truck that looked exactly like a cop car, and he would pull up on people with a PA system, and he was like, "I took that shit too far," and he was like, "Man." He pull up and he would make people pull over like a cop, and he
damn,
would get out. And think about it, he's on crack or some kind of drugs at the time, a lot of the time.
hmm,
And so here he comes, and he's just like, "Where's your license?" Can you imagine him pulling up on you?
yeah, with his voice just deep and fucking raspy as a motherfucker.
Yeah, yo,
Yeah.
where's your license, dog? What are you doing? You driving all crazy out here. What the fuck? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like DMX, he's just so iconic. But really, when I got into his music as of late, um, it's helped me because I realized like I feel conflicted sometimes in that I want to talk about God, and there's so many connotations people have with it from experiences or them feeling like oppressed enough as is that they don't want to look at the inner conflict of being judged, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was on a level of like spiritual maturity that's um it 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 supersedes a lot of people's comfort, because they have to look at themselves. And I think that was something that Nipsey Hussle navigated in a way where, although both of them were putting themselves and using themselves as the example,
Yeah.
he brought it across in a way that was palatable to people that maybe DMX couldn't reach. And I think if you look at, say, Tupac, he did the same thing.
Yeah.
And I realized like I have a lot of things inside of myself that I want to talk about, and learning how to convey them is a challenge for me at times.
Yeah, words are hard sometimes. That's one of the that's actually one of the things that Elon Musk is hoping his Neuralink transplant thing is going to help with, cuz basically it'll help basically send our thoughts to someone else, so you won't have to find the words for it. They'll just be able to
Mm.
understand and know what you're thinking.
I think that's equal parts beautiful as it is scary.
Mhm.
Cause I know myself, bro. Like,
Well, people won't just be able to read your shit, right? You have to be able to like allow them access to have it, you know. I
I
wouldn't
don't know.
imagine them to just be able to be like, "Hey, fucking, why'd you fucking think about hitting me in the face 14 times because I just looked at you wrong?" No, they won't be able to do that. It'll just be like, "Hey, bro, I'm trying to share this thought with you." Boom, there it is.
I think we're kind of already built in with that, and it's either that, like, the secret passcode is if your like frequencies harmonize. Like if y'all are both feeling the same vibe, then you get it. You don't
No,
need as
well,
many words.
I don't think that's necessarily true because you and I could be on the same fucking page, but I could be trying to give you a certain message and you may not get it. You may get it for what you're thinking, but like you're not gonna get exactly what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
guess we're on some Harry Potter shit with that, like trying to take your like
Yeah. But
shit out. You know?
it uh I think humans are gonna just end up integrating with technology for sure. Cause as soon dude, I'm telling you, as soon as eye transplants become available and they're 100% effective for like implanting bionic eyes into people's brain faces, I'm getting them. I don't give a fuck how much they cost.
Yeah, bro. And we'll be balling the fuck out. So yeah, you are getting them motherfuckers. But what I'm saying is like, you know, I think there's reasons for that, and I think there's um lessons and beauty in imperfections, I guess you could say, or like where on one level we may be inadequate, but it doesn't prevent us from succeeding in expressing ourselves.
Yeah.
You know?
For the most part, yeah.
Like expression is a fucking art, bro. It really is. And I think like that's not only what I strive to master by mastering myself, but learn how to be symbolic and speak less and teach more through my essence, like through how you handle people. Because I think one of the problems with like, for instance, let's just take Valentine's Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Valentine's Day is a perfect example. Like it's an even better example for me than Christmas because it really has a deep intimacy on a one-on-one level. It's not just communal. Um, but like my mom, for instance, would always be mad at me because like at Christmas time, she's like, "You're so hard to buy gifts for or to do something special for her," you know? And it bothered me because for me, it's like if you observe what I want, and let's flip back to the Valentine's analogy. If I'm looking at like my spouse or something, it ain't hard to figure out what I like. Just look at what I give to you and then look at what that is. and give me your version of that, because I'm giving to you that which I actually want for myself. And like how I know how to love you is by how I feel I need to be loved. Does
So
that make sense?
basically, in a very complicated way, treat others the way you want to be treated.
Damn, see, you're good at this shit, bro. Like that's why I say you're the consigliere. Like you take the Don's like wild fucking ways of handling different thoughts and situations, and you just like that's not logical. Move over here. You know what I mean? Like, no, we ain't gonna move like that. It's like, dude, I swear you're superhuman to me in your ability to be concise.
Yeah.
Um, where I'm kind of outlandish, but I feel like that's a little bit of my superpower too.
Well, you make
But
conversations interesting. Or make them
sometimes,
short.
yeah, sometimes I'm off the walls, and I wish I talked less. If I'm just being real with you, um,
I something I watched today, it was just on the topic of talking less or knowing when to talk.
mm-hmm,
I have this, I don't know what the YouTube channel is called. Let me look it up real quick. I'll try and find it while I say this. But
yeah,
it's basically a psychology channel,
mm-hmm,
and it goes into how you have conversations and stuff like that, and how to make a certain feeling in a conversation happen, and how
mm,
to give yourself, whether it's true confidence or the perception of confidence, on top of how to turn a conversation in different ways. But this one that I was talking about that I watched was four psychological tricks to command respect in a
mm,
thing. And I've watched a couple of this YouTube channel's videos. It's charisma on command, and basically they just go into um, different methods of conversation and how to talk and all this other crazy stuff, and it's really interesting. But I was watching that, and it talked about how someone who uh, seems confident in a conversation will usually maintain eye contact while also waiting 3 to 4 seconds before responding.
mm,
And so that's kind of on the topic of like just allowing, giving other people time to talk, but also giving yourself time to think about your response.
yeah,
Yeah. That's kind of, I don't know. I do that naturally, but yeah.
yeah, bro. I I think that's one of your for real like superpowers. Like when I talk about like your mental discipline, you have good disciplines. Have you ever heard of a dude named Jay Prince?
No.
So he founded like Rap a Lot Records, and he did a book, and his book is called Respect, and it's about his whole rise to like he's an interesting person because even though he's a star and he has stardom,
Mm-hmm.
there's very few people that have been like a producer, that are like behind the scenes and someone who's a facilitator.
Yeah.
Um, but he created so many different acts, and he's facilitated so many rappers getting their chains back when they get robbed in Texas and shit. Yeah, and back in the day, um, there used to be before like I think it's called payola or whatever, where like people like A&Rs and stuff that were breaking new artists at
Mm-hmm.
labels would pay DJs to spin their records, you know?
Yeah.
And the South wasn't getting any play, especially in hip hop, it was all East Coast, West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And so because nobody was giving the people that were local artists in Texas their fair shot, Jay Prince basically shut it down and was like, Texas became what was known as a no-fly zone. Like if you came there, there's gonna be some fucking problems unless you check in, you
Yeah.
know. And he facilitated everything though. Shit never got out of control to this day, you know. he's still doing this for the entire young generation. And typically, like, what you see is this huge generational gap of antics and the younger generation, especially if you're talking like the streets, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge disconnect between the older generation that's matured out of that. He, through means of respect, has created a way for everything to cohabitate and exist and not push one thing down to lift something else up. You know, even though at the time it might have been necessary for him to be like, nope, we got to put the kibosh on this shit until y'all come play ball properly. You know,
Yeah.
and so that interview, he did another one on Drink Champs. So shout out to Drink Champs. But um, kind of going back, since we're on the topic of podcasts and stuff, um, I love what we're doing, and even if I'm learning on the fly, you know, uh, there's been so many nights, you know, when I was really sitting there like on my mom's porch, just smoking blunts, bro, and that was all I would do. I'd smoke blunts, and like I felt lost, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just try my best to talk to God and be like, God, I know you see me, and the only way that I could escape my reality, in a sense, and really I wasn't trying to escape it as much as get pearls to navigate it, you know, was
Yeah.
to listen to things like the Church of What's Happening Now with Joey Diaz, or um, like Joe Rogan's podcast, or even comedy things like This Is Not Happening, you know, like real life shit that people go through that seems like a detrimental experience, or that's like that would things that would make you blush that you don't want to admit that you went through, but
Yeah.
they actually make you who you are and teach you these lessons. You know what I mean? I don't know if that led to anything or stirred anything in your mind, but all I'm saying is like wanting to provide that is something that's huge for me.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
I've never used podcasts like that. For me, it's always kind of just been like, it's never been a guidance thing,
mm,
right? So for me, it's always been about entertainment. So, like, if a podcast isn't entertaining to me, I just don't listen to it. Um,
hmm,
like, I tried to listen to Lex Friedman's podcast. I listened to one episode, and it was because the woman that he had on was really interesting. Um,
yeah,
but I can't do his voice for too long because I just get bored. He's a super
hmm,
duper smart dude, super interesting, but he has a very monotone voice that I can't listen to for very long. And then I've tried uh hotboxing. Mike Tyson's podcast is awesome.
hell yeah.
Um, I
I
don't
watched
keep
the
up with it.
fucking shit out of that. Sorry.
Um, I listen to a lot of Two Bears One Cave with Tom Segura and Bert Kreischer. That one's
Hmm.
just basically all comedy. It's
Yeah,
fucking hilarious. Um, and then Joe Rogan's podcast, occasionally Jocko Willing's podcast.
yeah.
Um,
I watched the Jocko podcast too.
yeah. Um, other than that, that's pretty much it when it comes to podcasts.
But I've started to listen to like the Hawk and Wolf podcast with Tony Hawk,
Okay.
and I think it's Jason Wolf. But really, I think I learned best from like from wacky people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one of the best podcasts I've ever heard um, is from Mrs. Pat. If you listen to Mrs. Pat's life story on the Joe Rogan podcast, not only is she fucking hilarious, like you
Yeah.
will
She's
laugh
got
your
her own
ass off.
TV show.
Yeah, yeah. But what you're laughing at, bro, is like
She's
there's so
raw.
much reality to that. Like it's real
Yeah.
and like it's so fucked up and you can't even really like make sense that you went through it other than to laugh at it and be like, "Yo, it's bananas that that even happened." You
Bro,
know?
you know what you should watch? It's not a podcast, but it's
Hmm.
a series on Netflix. It's like a 10 episode series or something.
Yeah.
It's called The Cabin with Bert
Mhm.
Kreischer. It's he has Miss Pat on there, but he has all these different people on there, and they're like 30-minute episodes, but they do really wacky shit while also having deep conversations. Um,
See?
and it's super
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's like my dream right there.
Yeah, you should watch that though, for real. It's fucking hilarious. But yeah, I watched the entire thing on the flight home from South Carolina the first time I went out there in 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like, look, man, there's so many different situations that I've been through. Like, for instance, getting knocked the fuck out. I'm telling you, it is not something that's funny. I don't recommend experiencing it. It is 100% dangerous, but you can learn some shit from getting knocked the fuck out. You know what I mean?
for sure. I mean, I've never been
And
knocked out by somebody else, but yeah.
dude, I'm telling you, I have been knocked the fuck out by somebody else, by multiple people. But most of the time, I either wasn't looking, which is a lesson in and of itself. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Also, that clues me in on something. I must have been looking stupid as fuck. You know what I mean? Just observing some shit and just getting knocked the fuck out. You know?
Well,
But
no,
B,
you don't look stupid. They look like a piece of shit.
yeah, but I don't know. There's something to it. Like in this one situation, like I remember we were at a family gathering, and it was me and my friend Curtis, right? And then Joseph, who's been like my brother forever, you know, and his older brother Damon and Miguel are outside. This is like, mind you, like 150 people at a party, right?
Mhm.
And we're celebrating like his cousin's birthday. Everyone's drinking. We're trashed, right? So Curtis goes into the house. He takes a piss. I go into the house. I take a piss. I come back out. And in the midst of this, like, I swear it was like 5 minutes for both of us to just take a piss and just come back out. We're getting more beers or whatever. We come out of the house, and all we see is Damon and Miguel backing across the field, like, and just throwing hands. And there's so many people, bro, that they're literally jumping over each other, like trying to hit them, bro. And it's like them fighting. I shit you not, like 30 people. It was fucking
Damn.
chaos. The entire backyard, like, turned into a fat ass brawl. And, like, we just come outside, right? And I'm like, oh shit. So Curtis sees Damon and just takes off. And he's like 2 paces in front of me, right? I see Damon and I tell my feet, run, like, and black, nothing. I don't remember shit, bro.
Someone knocked
What
you out.
what apparently happened, so that's what I'm saying. I must have been looking stupid as shit because I was ready to go, but I was just so unaware. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there and I'm like, uh, and fucking this big ass Russian dude. The dude must have been like 6'2", 6'3", or some shit. Just came stomping up and just went, pow, and just cracked me like right here, right?
Jesus. Right
I
on the
swear to God,
button.
bro, the way Curtis described this was so funny. And my homie Miguel was like, he saw it and he was like, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. You got your fucking, I saw your soul like leave your body when you got punched, bro. Like, I was so, but the weird shit is, I popped right back up.
Yeah,
Like,
you go.
I'm blacked out. I don't remember nothing, right? But anyways, I get stolen. Boom! The dude hit me so hard that he ran into Curtis, right? Curtis is my fucking brother, right? Curtis turns around and goes, what? And he wraps the dude up by his neck like this. He stole on him. The dude turned this way. He put his arm around his neck. And Curtis is big, bro. Like, he's little big. He's only like, I swear, 5'10", 5'11", but he's fucking big. You know
Stacked.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Curtis dunked him on his head like, wow, bro. And my homies just start maxing this dude out, right? Curtis takes his shirt off. He's stomping him. He's talking shit. You know what I mean? And like, it was bananas. Some dude had gotten hit in the head with a fucking Hennessy bottle, split his
Oh
whole shit.
fuck.
Like, bro, I'm telling you, this was like a legit madhouse brawl, right? And the fucked up part is it was started by these like crackhead ass Russian dudes that just happened to sneak into the party talking shit, right?
Yeah.
And then it turned into basically like some country bred ass, big ass bodybuilder, biker ass dudes, right? Who are like family related, you know, fighting the family versus, and there's just all kinds of people in between. Meanwhile, my homie Joseph's cousin is sitting there dancing, going, I don't give a fuck, just drinking in the middle of the party. I had got knocked out, right? And I popped back up. Side note, I was wearing a leather jacket. This is my first night wearing a leather jacket. I'm looking like the Fonz. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like I'm yoked or nothing. Like, I'm just out here trying to be fly, and I just got fucking knocked the fuck out.
Will you put this on my back for me?
Yeah, bro, but I'm having a podcast.
I'm sorry, bro.
Well, fucking, man, I'm in the middle of a story, bro. Hurry up. Got the fucking tens unit. Am I supposed to put the... What am I doing? Where is it?
Right here.
Is this all one piece?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I don't know what you did to your neck, but you better stop lifting weights or whatever.
I didn't do anything. I just slept on it wrong.
Quit being a fucking aggressive stoner. Get this cat out of here. I love you, bro. Get out of here, duty.
He's gotta be in here with you.
No, get it. Yeah.
He's gonna turn into a cat gun now.
Anyway, as we were, see, I told you I'm a fucking Looney Tune. Like, I can't make this shit up. This is just my life.
I'm eating a banana.
Hell yeah. Anyways, I get knocked the fuck out. I wake back up, and I'm still unconscious at this point. And there's a lady that gets on my back, like a tweaker lady that was huge as fuck. And she's wrapped around my shit like this.
What the fuck?
Me.
I can't
and
even open this.
I'm walking around because I'm unconscious, just walking around.
She's hitting you
like this. Yeah, my homegirl Brianna, thank God she fucking has my back. Brianna's fighting this bitch off of me while I'm still walking around. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on. And when I come to, like, mind you, this all happens in the backyard.
Yeah.
I don't know how much time went by, but I come to, and there's like a sea of people. I'm in the driveway all of a sudden. I go from the backyard to the driveway, and there's like a sea of people, and they're smashing my friend's mom like up against the wall. She's trying to break shit up, and the dude is like 450 pounds. Like, he's fucking huge, right?
Jesus.
Huge. Like, and I'm not talking like fat. He's like barrel-chested country.
Massive.
He was like a weightlifter and a wrestler. You know what I mean? He looked
Brock
like a
Lesnar
level
type motherfucker.
Yes, bro. I'm telling you, it was his dad or his uncle or some shit. And all I see is my friend's mom, and it's not just like her. It's like this dude. There's some more country people behind him, and like a wave of people, and she's getting like pushed up over this wave, like smushed against the house. I'm like, what is going on? So all I know is I'm like, and there's a bright ass light in my eyes coming from behind him. I was like, fuck that. So I run up and I jump, and I'm like, boom! And he fucking staggers back. I swear I only hit him in the chest or some shit, right? And he looks at me and just pushes me back, and I'm like, oh shit! I like fall back. And I get my shit back up, right? I'm like, what? And I look, and this dude that looks like, I can't make this up, bro. He looked like Jeff Foxworthy. You know what I mean? Like, he looked like Jeff Foxworthy. He's wearing plaid. He's got the sleeves cut off. And he just comes stomping up to me like this, bro. Like, you know? I was like, this dude ain't about to max me out. I turn, I grab him by the plaid. I pick him up and just, boom, slammed his shit on the ground, right?
Yeah.
This 40-something-year-old man got fucking knocked the fuck out so much, I got all my confidence back, bro. All my confidence back. But I look up, bro, and it was the cops. And it's such a fat brawl, bro, that the cops are just like, hey,
we'll let it burn out, and then we'll handle it.
They let me slam this old man so hard on the concrete, dog. So hard. I'm surprised I don't even have a broken jaw by how fucking hard I get sucker punched. My friend comes and finds me, and I'm going, yo, who hit me? Who the fuck hit me? But I'm smart, but I'm dumb too. So like when I'm like unconscious, man, I might throw a big word in there. I'm like, who got the audacity? The fucking audacity, you know what I mean? My friend's trying to fucking like calm me down. The cops are like, what is that dude on? You know what I mean? And our homegirl comes walking up, and she's like, Joseph, and we're fucking stoners, right? So she's like, I got the, and then we see the cop, and she's like, especially, she's black too. She's like, she's really not trying to be dealing with Clackamas County right now.
Like, I don't know.
And so she puts the fucking weed jar thing in her pants, and it fell through because she didn't know she must have been in the brawl too.
Yeah.
Her pants had ripped, so like right out of the crotch, she puts her shit in there, whoop, and it just comes right out. And the cops just see the little weed container rolling, and they just look at her and they go, "You gonna get that?" And she was like, yeah. So she picked it up. Shout out to her for saving the fucking weed. Yes, that was Sierra, I believe. So shout out to Sierra for grabbing the fucking weed. And I'm so mad, I'm not even trying to get in the truck, bro. But Joseph's family, they ride or die, they took me home, bro. And now those are like situations that you go through and you're like, man, I had to be the dude that got knocked the fuck out. You know what I mean?
That'd be my luck too, don't worry, dude.
But, I mean, you learn some shit. Pay attention, dog. People like to punch you.
For real. And you don't even have blind spots in your vision.
Bro, hey, fuck that. He was in my blind spot, bro. But I should have head on a swivel. You know what I mean?
You see a brawl, you go, all right, let's go.
From now on, I do a whole 360. I make sure I know where the brawl is really at. There might be a brawl going on across the street. There's some perimeter shit.
Yeah, you gotta scan the shit and look at the horizon, motherfucker. You gotta scope the surrounding areas.
Look, right here, there's a scar on my head. I don't know if you can see. There's a little notch that got taken out of my fucking hairline right here. This wasn't even a brawl. You want to talk about some crazy sucker punch shit, bro? All right. I come out of high school, and like it was the end of the day. In Franklin High School, there's what's called the Hill. Mm-hmm. And the Hill kids are all the fucking stoners, the bad little kids, right? That are kind of weird. It's a hodgepodge of like trailer park people and whoever. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're the outcast kids. But I fucked with them. The Hill kids were my folks. They always held it down. I would come and sell weed to whoever didn't sell weed through there, right?
Whoever didn't sell weed, I'd sell weed to.
Yeah. Well, dude, sometimes like if you owe some people some money, you know what I mean, and you ain't paid them back, I'm your man. All right, I got you. You know what I mean? You don't fucking watch it. But there's a dude. He was one of the homies back in the day, man. He was always around the neighborhood. His name was Eagle Horse, right?
Eagle Horse? Was that a nickname or an actual name?
That's his actual name. He's Native American cat, bro.
Okay.
And Eagle Horse was buck wild. Always has been, bro. But a genuine fucking soul. I don't care what anyone says, bro. I got nothing bad to say about Eagle Horse. You know what I mean? He might have had some kind of sort of iffy drugs. You know what I mean? But he share them shits with you. You know? He give you a cool price. Like, and so he's kind of like the neighborhood, like, I want to say like unicorn. He was more like a leprechaun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just randomly showed up with a pot of gold. Been
robbed a million times. Like, everyone used to rob him because if you saw him, you knew he had some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, he was like a unicorn, but he was the homie for real. Like, always, bro. I got nothing but love for him.
Yeah.
And so I come out of the school, right? And man, I'm just walking by the tennis courts. I got my backpack like this. I'm just walking, and there's like a line of trees, right? And this is like in, I don't know, like fall season. So the trees had broken off or whatever.
All the leaves.
And there's this long ass branch, right? And I guess Eagle Horse had come running up to the tree, and he just smacked the branch against the tree. Now I'm walking, and just boom, I get cracked with some shit. So the tree is like this far, and there's all this much extra branch, right? So when he snapped it on the tree, this whole piece just came flying.
Yeah.
Smacked me in the face, bro. And I turned around to like fight, and there was like nobody there. I was like,
you're like, what the fuck? It hit me.
Then all of a sudden, it's Eagle Horse right in my grill, and like two of my other friends going, "Oh my God, are you okay, bro?" I'm like leaking from my head, and I'm like, "Yeah, bro." But
What
who
the fuck happened?
What hit me? I literally thought it was a chicken wing because it was a big ass branch. I was like, who the fuck hit me with that chicken wing? So clearly I had a concussion. Like it hit me dead ass, like right on my temple, bro. I was like,
Who the fuck hit me
wow,
with that chicken wing?
dude, my shit was opened up. And my stepdad told me some crazy shit because he was a chef. Reno said, if you put black pepper in a wound, it'll cauterize it, right? I'm so fucking out of it. I'm like, yeah, whatever, bro. It's cool. They're like, no, bro, you're like leaking. And I'm like, I'm gonna walk home and I'm gonna put some black pepper in it. And they're like, that's
like,
the last thing. They're like, you got moss in your skull, bro. Like,
black pepper ain't helping you. What are you talking about?
bro, yeah. And like, so I had to go into the school. And I guess that time I just learned, be more aware or like, look out for chicken wings and branches. Wild
Bro, needs
kids.
to go on a shirt. Who hit me with that chicken wing?
That's what it looked like. I thought I got smacked in the face with a chicken wing. I was all fucked up. But no, I had to go and clean out my head.
Yeah.
And they wound up stitching me up.
And all that other shit.
I just had to stick my fingers in it with
fuck.
water and shit and clean it out.
Man.
That was one where I gracefully took an L on that one, bro. Come to think about it, man. I should have got like a free eighth or something, man.
Yeah, for real. Like, dude, you hit me with a fucking chicken wing. Give me something.
Hey, I don't know. I took an L on that one, bro.
Shit.
I'm not even gonna lie. And I was so fucking like out of it. I'm already dazed and confused. And like, I seen him. I was like, bro, I don't even like. I kind of want to fuck you up. But that was such an accident. You know what I mean?
That was such an accident. I can't even be mad.
Yeah, it's not even an option. You know what I mean? I can't be mad about the shit. And especially you're all like, it's fucked up when someone whoops your ass inadvertently. You know what I mean?
Like, sorry, bro. Oh my god.
And then they're like caressing your face and shit. I'm like,
bro,
clearly
I'm sorry.
you love me. You know what I mean? Oh shit. Yeah. Like this is how people wind up in abusive relationships by accident.
Yeah, the toxic shit. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like sometimes you just gotta be yourself, and like shit happens, and you can only speak on your perspective. You know what I mean? Like to this day, I wonder what the fuck he was thinking. Just he must have just been like, I'm gonna just break this branch. Like I don't know.
They definitely had to just be like, I'm gonna just break it, bro.
Bro, we're grown though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like 19 or some shit. Like I swear to God, he was older than me. He was grown.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah. Just came back to school to sell some weed, and apparently, you know, God had it in the plan to let him fuck me up.
That's great. That's phenomenal.
Yeah, bro. Like I got stories, bro. Just like, and there's stories that like sometimes you don't want to tell, but think about how much joy and fun you get out of those stories, right?
I wish I had stories like that, more interesting stories to tell. But I grew up in like such a small town, none of that type of shit happened.
Oh, shit happened in your small ass town. You just were too young or something.
Yeah, I never went to high school in my town. So, because my town, the high school shut down, my brother graduated. So I was never, like, I didn't grow up in that. And then the high school I went to was so much larger than I was used to. So I shut down and became a super quiet, reserved dude. So I was never involved in a whole lot of that stuff.
Also, man, young me, bro, look, there was a lot of drugs going on at the time.
For sure.
A whole lot of drugs, you know? Especially like, I can't say like my generation, our generation, you know, there's a lot of shit going on, popping off, people trying all different kinds of shit, you know? And then, aside from that, like me, I was talking shit. I was buck wild, but I was like Ferris Bueller, bro. I swear to God. I was I was weirdly cool with like a third of almost every group.
Yeah.
You know? Like there were select people. I was cool with nerdy kids. I was cool with some of the jocks. I was cool with some of the preppy chicks. I was cool with some of the outside kids. I was like I played just whoever I fucked with you. You know,
Yeah.
if you were cool, I fucked with you, and if not, I was 100% outspoken about not fucking with you, like ignorant. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I was like war ready at that time in my life, bro. Um, and the way that I would describe it is like there's one thing. It's one thing now. I'm militant minded just because I've been through shit, you
Mhm.
know, and I understand there's a necessity for it because it really just means you're a strategist, um, but in a different way, you know, like there's no malicious intent there,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But the strategy is still kind of in place if need be, you
Mhm.
know. At that time when I was young, I was hyper vigilant, you know, and I had a lot of things inside of me that was unresolved, especially anger, you know?
Yeah.
And and so I mistreated so many people, Zach, that it was like, I swear to God, one of my favorite shows is My Name is Earl, because that was like my life.
Yeah.
You know how many people I've seen after high school that I've had to been like, and it's not even people I want to be friends with, you know?
Yeah.
Just someone I know I didn't do right by. And I just had to come and suck that shit up. And, you know, I'm not expecting you to like receive it. Like you can receive it however you want, you know, and I've gotten mixed results in that shit. Most of the time it was pretty gracious. Just because someone's like, damn, you really sat on that and like remembered that small thing. But it could have been a big thing to them,
Yeah.
you know? And so like I've had to really humble myself a lot of times, and I've also been humbled by like random shit, getting knocked the fuck out in all these weird ass incidents, you know?
Yeah.
You know, where it's like, fuck, man, you know, like you just got to take your wins and your losses with the same uh with the same level of character, you know,
Mhm.
to the best of your ability. And when you fuck up, just be like, man, I fucked up, you know?
Yeah.
Like my mom, she she always told me, all you owe anybody is honesty, and anything else is earned or it's given. And what I take from that is like it took me a long time to learn like you can't necessarily be mad when people don't value things that you gave freely,
Mhm.
you know? Cuz there's some people that don't respect things properly because of their character at that time where um they may feel like they need to exploit certain things. Like you might have hella money and you might treat somebody really good. I've seen this a lot, especially like with my friend Henry Tracy, you know. We were really really tight when we were in high school, you know. Really like that was my brother, you know what I mean? And like still I got to say that's my brother because what he did for not just me, but so many people, like the experiences he provided were awesome, but um how things went down was like sometimes uh I would see people come around and they would take advantage of the shit, you know, even though he's given it.
Mhm.
And I've done this plenty of times in different other ways, so I don't mean to just put this man out there like that, you know what I mean? But it's just an example in my life um where he presented so much like love to people, genuine love, and really gave it with no string attached, you know.
Mhm.
And oftentimes it would just come down to me and him, you know, after all the money was gone because people didn't respect it in the same way, even though like where he was coming from was a genuine place. They
Yeah.
didn't need to take advantage of that shit, you know. But
Yeah.
because of where they were at, it was like they were just going. My mom would call him a good time Charlie, you know. They always come around when the party's there, but when the party's gone, they're not there anymore. They're not there to help you clean it up or to look after you, you know? And it's like a lot of people in life will be that way. So there's two different routes that you can go. You can either go the Tracy way and give it, which is honestly something that he gave to me. You know, I've always been a very generous person, but he taught me different levels of generosity. You know what I mean? Where I always will have to praise him for that, because he taught me a lot about being a man and like how to suck that shit up when people um don't come back in the same way. You know, like you gave something and they just don't turn around and respect it. You know, they disrespect you.
Yeah.
They receive it in a janky way. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the other way where it's like you make people earn it. And I think there's some things like you got to earn some stuff in business, but I'll give it if you fit the mold, you know? Like for instance, um say Josh helping us with editing clips of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's something where it's like he earned it with you, right? But to me I'm like, hell yeah, like naturally he fits the mold. That's our brother, like he wants to help, he's down, he knows how to edit, you know? Psh, he's got the job. You know,
Yeah.
no questions asked. That's one of those give things, right? And even though we might be in two different positions with it, where you're kind of both, you give it and you earn it. But you can also look at that same person, and oftentimes those people will turn around and give back to you when you're not um, feeling vulnerable or slighted, or when there's speed bumps in the road, you don't like push them down about it, you know?
Yeah.
You just welcome them back home and say, no, 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 you're part of the group, you know? And like these are lessons that I've learned in life, like from things both good and bad, you know?
Yeah.
And like so you gotta give thanks where you can for the people that have done it. And the only reason why I feel like I kind of do, I'm trying to be wise about sprinkling names and stuff like that and truth. But some people deserve that. They deserve their spot, you know,
Yeah.
in your life. No matter if you guys part ways or not, you know, they helped you teach that or learn that, and they taught you it, and you in order to appreciate like there's validity there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like so I just want to say, you know, shout out to the people that were super generous, you know, and psh, my dude Henry Tracy and I got stories, bro, and he's got stories on stories on stories just for of not only his family's generosity, but just hilarious bananas fucking stories of us learning shit. And sometimes there's casualties that happen, like getting knocked the fuck out every now and again. But you got to take it on the chin. I'm sorry. I just had to be punny real quick.
Sometimes you have to.
You ever have any experiences that were like, oh, fuck, I wish I didn't have to learn that one? I'll tell you
Um.
another one, bro. I pissed on an electric fence when I was little. I was out. I was out looking at the horses one time at one of our family friends' houses, and I was like peeing. And this is another situation where I didn't have situational awareness. You know, I was peeing between the little horse fence thing, and my stream just started coming down, bro. And it was like, bro, why did I have to be the one to learn that shit
I was playing
while
hide and seek
everybody's
one time
looking?
and tried to climb an electric fence.
Wait, what?
Yeah. We lived on a farm, and on the other side of the fence were goats, and there was a little hill, and I was gonna go over and hide at the bottom of the hill, because it was like no one would really go over there. So
hmm
I tried to climb the fence. I grabbed onto it and just got shocked. And all I remember is it was a low voltage fence, so it holds on to you. That's the worst part
Yeah, that's
about low
what happened.
voltage. So it tenses up your muscles, and I just get shocked there. And all I remember is I'm like, it was on. What I remember it being is like almost an out of body experience because I don't remember it very well. But because I was younger than 6 years old. I was like probably
Whoa.
three or four.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I remember looking straight at the goats, but I remember seeing my grandpa run up behind me and snatch me off the fence. And then
Whoa.
behind him, my parents, like really far away. But like, I remember seeing him just running and just picking me up and taking me off the fence. Other than that,
Damn.
yeah.
Wait, so like you were seeing behind yourself and in front of yourself?
Yeah, because I remember seeing there were like 2 or 3 goats, and they were off to my right, like kind of at the middle of the small hill. It was almost like a ditch that they were in,
Mm-hmm.
and I was looking straight, and then obviously the fence, and then behind me my grandpa, just hauling
Whoa.
ass. Yeah, might
That's
have been my great grandpa,
crazy.
but yeah. On that same farm, we would feed. My dad would drive a pickup truck. Me and my brother would push hay outside of the back of the truck for this big ass bull that would chase the truck.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool. And then on that same farm, there were these big ass, the round hay bales.
Yeah.
Well, me and my cousins, we would climb on top of them and like run and jump from each one because they were lined up really close
Mm-hmm.
to each other. And one time I was trying to climb up by myself. My foot got stuck by this spider web, this big ass spider web, like huge,
No.
bro. And the type of spider that it was, when you get close, its intimidation method is vibrating its web. So
What?
it was vibrating its web, and I just started crying. I remember crying and bawling my eyes out, and my
Your
dad
foot
coming
was
up.
in the web though?
It was like stuck like right near it. Like what it was like next to it or something. I believe it was underneath it. So I was about to climb into it basically.
Oh no. So
So
it's like eye level?
pretty much it was like if you were to think about it, it's like this. It was like right here.
Yeah,
Right
that would
above
have
my
freaked
knee.
me out.
And so I remember crying and screaming and my dad coming over and getting me unstuck. It was like a
Oh,
black and yellow spider.
fuck all that.
Yeah. Um I remember, dude, yeah. I remember a lot of stuff from Oklahoma before I moved.
When did you move up here?
When I was 6.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so you had a decent. When do you think your earliest memory was? Because I can remember shit when I was like 2.5. Not like super um vibrant, like there's certain things. Like I don't have like a full timeline, but I remember like snippets, like being in the bath or like
Yeah. I would say my earliest memory was in the house. We call it the red and white house because it was the fucking red and white house. But it was it was the house we lived in. It was the
Yeah,
second
that's
to last
funny.
house we lived in before we moved.
Okay.
So we moved from the red and white house to the green and white house. We have very, very specific names for our house.
Yeah, I
Um,
was gonna say you mean it wasn't blue.
yeah, it wasn't blue. No, it was red and
Okay.
white.
All right.
But in the backyard of the red and white house, we had a basketball hoop, but you couldn't play with it because it was all dirt in the backyard. Um, and so, but underneath that basketball hoop, my dad would draw lines in the dirt, like roads for my Hot Wheels. That's the earliest memory that I have. Because I would like
Okay.
drive on them and shit.
Dude, that's crazy because now that you say that, I remember doing little things like that when I was little. And I wonder like when you see kids that just play with tablets and stuff nowadays, I don't like to be a downer about things.
Yeah, I know. I kind of know where you're going with it. It's
Is
like,
that like some next level shit? Like do they not even cuz they don't know you don't know what you don't know, right?
yeah, exactly. And I think it's like, I think it would be similar to like our parents, right? So like they didn't have the same types of toys we did, right? They more so had their imagination. And so like we don't know what they had. It's kind of a similar thing. But the
But
technology switch from actually doing stuff outside and like having those little moments where you can draw roads in the dirt for your kid. Now what are you going to do? You're going to you're going to play VR with them or something? I don't know. Right?
yeah, see, I'm curious if our brains know the now I haven't seen any studies on this, but if our brains actually know the difference between like when we're doing something on a screen versus when we're actually doing it. Like, I mean, obviously there's like a difference when you're like physically on a fucking let's say on a roller coaster, right? Versus
Yeah.
watching a recording of a roller coaster if you've never been on a roller coaster.
There's a dude who did a I think it was 24 hours in VR. Nonstop in VR. I
For
think
why? Like, what was the
to
purpose?
see the effect, because everyone who talks about playing VR and doing stuff in VR, they talk about how it feels really real, right?
Mm.
So like you can watch videos of even old people, dude. Like it'll be like a type of VR experience where they're standing on like a high rise, right? And they walk to the
Mm-hmm.
edge of the building and they look down. They're like, oh, and then you'll see a video of that same situation, but then someone behind them will push them towards where the edge of the thing is, and they freak out, like a genuine freak out moment.
Mm-hmm.
So I think our brains are have a little bit harder time of even in a very digital looking world as VR is, uh distinguishing that bit
You
of.
think that's why like porn can fuck with you?
I think porn is more of a I think that's more of an overdose of dopamine.
Mm.
Uh
Interesting.
cuz you're just constantly flooding your fucking I've seen a lot of people talk about this, and
Do they
it's
make VR porn?
most definitely cuz they make POV porn.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. There's
It's gotta be like super crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's got to be really interesting. I've never experienced it cuz I don't have a VR headset, but I'm sure someone's figured it out.
That's fucking bananas when you think about it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, because
crazy.
like, bro, the only VR like experience I've ever had, when I was little, I used to try to play this game in the arcade where it was like a battle stations game.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that shit where you're like on the ship
Uh-huh.
and like there's planes flying at you and you're like, ah?
I didn't play it I played it at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, it looked like you were putting on a Juggernaut helmet. But you know
Yeah.
what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There was that one, and then when the Oculus came out, right?
Mhm.
I swear, the only thing that I had, and it was kind of cheesy, and it was like super disorienting for me. Like I was all wobbly and weird.
Yeah.
Um, I was looking in a movie theater full of emojis, and it was like
Okay.
I was in a seat, like looking up and shit, and there were like all these different emojis
Imagine being on
watching a movie.
mushrooms and being in that and seeing the fucking emojis and seeds. Bro, when we did mushrooms,
Yeah,
I remember, have you ever seen the Emoji Movie?
no,
Okay. Well, if you can, look up a picture of the Emoji Movie. But
okay.
basically, what I was seeing on my phone when I looked at it was all the emojis as if they were from the Emoji Movie. Like super bubbly and realistic looking and shit. It was really weird.
Yo, Patrick Stewart was in that movie.
I've never seen it, but I've seen like the commercials for it.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Like that must have been what it was for because I was in a virtual reality that was kind of like that.
Yeah, so that's how all the emojis looked on my phone when we were on mushrooms.
What the fuck, dude? Hold
Yeah.
on. Professor Xavier, Professor X was fucking the poop emoji?
Yeah,
This is the
Sir Patrick
weirdest
Stewart.
cat. Yeah, this is the weirdest cast I've seen, bro.
Yeah. But
What in the fuck?
dude, I played VR when I went to Josh's,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a headache in like 20 minutes. But
It hurts my eyes.
it was really uncomfortable for me because one, you have to it's like you have to fit it to your head, right? Otherwise it's blurry. But because I had glasses on, it was hard to get it fitted right to where my glasses were positioned properly on the lenses of the headset, of the VR headset.
Okay.
And so it was like slightly blurry and out of focus. It's like if you're looking through a sniper scope,
Yeah.
but it's not sighted for you.
Yeah, like no, your eye relief is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're
And
talking about.
my glasses didn't fit in it. And I was like, it was really annoying and uncomfortable, and I had a headache super fast. But
Yeah, see, I get that just with 3D movies, like the ones where you put the glasses
I
on.
don't like 3D movies.
It fucks with my eyes.
They
I
don't
don't
make
know,
3D
bro.
movies anymore, dude. Did you know that? Have you noticed that? They don't do that shit anymore.
Yeah, but Beowulf in 3D, that shit
Bro,
blew my mind. That was like the
yeah.
never-ending story, bro. And they're like titties and all kind of shit. They're fucking dragons, and that movie was crazy.
I never seen that movie. I've only
What?
seen I've only seen like 2 3D movies.
Hold on. You love Viking shit.
Yeah.
You need. Have you seen Braveheart?
Very long time ago.
You need to first of all go watch Braveheart.
Braveheart's not Viking though. It's like
What?
Scottish, isn't it?
That's William Wallace, bro. That's like as Viking as it gets. He's got a sword that's fucking bigger than 2 people.
Hold on, we're gonna look it up.
Oh yeah. Braveheart is some real Viking level guerrilla warfare back in the day shit, bro. But it's not it's not medieval like fucking Beowulf. Beowulf is like some kind of whole other shit, dude. It's like a different universe, bro. But if you watch Beowulf, that's some Viking shit, bro. And
Yeah.
when that came out, I didn't even smoke weed at that time, bro. I was probably like 10 years old or something. Man, we got to look at when Beowulf came out. What the fuck?
It came out in. I'm looking at it right now. I'm just looking
I
for
don't
the
even know
date.
why they spelled wolf like that.
2005, 2007.
Yeah, so I was like 12 years old, bro.
I was 10.
That shit was crazy. I'm telling you, go watch it. It's probably on Netflix right now. If not, you just need to buy it because you'll love that shit.
Okay. But yeah, I'll see if it's on Netflix right now. I'll watch it tonight.
Get fucking stoned if you can.
I don't have edibles right now.
Well, you'll enjoy it regardless, but I'm telling you, if you get stoned and watch
When I was a
Beowulf,
child,
it's like an
our
immersive
country.
experience, bro. And that shit
Yeah.
in 3D, bro, like they're spilling beer and stuff out of the stream. The fucking like crazy things that he's fighting are like everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, because of glasses, I never got into 3D.
Hey, talking about 3D shit, me and Henry Tracy snuck into the movie Guardians of Gahul or some shit. And it was like we were waiting for another movie and it was like a movie about these fucking owls. And this was like when we were first learning, like we were first getting stoned. So like we were off the chain with it. I don't know if your brain just can't handle weed when you're 14 years old, but it was like we were like, what? And it was
Bro, you
like
can't
fucking
comprehend what's going on with your body.
yeah, dude.
Like,
Especially
that's the
when there's
thing.
fucking 50-foot tall birds like ah! And like there's flames and shit. And it was like,
Like,
what is
oh
that?
shit.
Yeah.
Me and Josh, we went and seen the new Spider-Man movie. Hi, that was a good time.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we seen
I didn't know
Jackass
you guys were
Forever.
actually what?
And we seen Jackass Forever. Hi, that was a good time too. The new Jackass
Yeah,
movie.
bro. I want to go see Jackass with my cousin. Damn
It's
it!
pretty
I gotta
funny.
call him.
It's pretty funny. Well, dude, it's been an hour 10.
All right. we can wrap her up.
Ready to wrap it up.
Yep. Everybody that tuned in, if you're out in an hour and 10 minutes with us, we fuck with you for real. Have an awesome night. We'll catch you next week, and we're gonna have some people on. We got a dude named Tate Morgan. He's supposed to be coming on, and he did the Gambler 500 races. He originated it. He created it and everything. And so we're gonna be interviewing him. That's where you get like a $500 car. You just get a beater car, and it's about rally racing and stuff. I got producers that are gonna get on here. Some of the people I've met that are really cool that make all different kinds of like awesome beats and shit like that, different music. And yeah, I got friends in the yoga community. I can't wait till we get my homegirl Sarah Spotty on. There's just so many people lined up, you know. Some real artists of all
Hell
different shapes, sizes, colors, and every kind of walk of life. You know what I mean?
A lot of cool people.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Anyways,
man.
Dumb Talk. We out of here.
Later.
Peace.